Is self-care selfish? Let's talk about it. Is self-care selfish? Let's talk about it. Good morning. I'm Cody Stewart. Welcome to another Monday morning moment as we continue our series within a series on spiritual disciplines. And today we're going to talk about the topic of self-care. And so you may be, thinking, oh, great, here's another video. If you type it in on YouTube, there's like hundreds, it seems, of videos that are entitled "Is Self-Care Selfish?" And so you may be thinking, oh goodness, but bear with me because I like to think that this video has something special to share. And I believe that because I think that self-care, a great way to look at it is this: self-care is a recentering of God and a decentering of ourself and our struggles and anxieties of this world. Oftentimes, I think self-care is misunderstood as selfish because we put ourselves at the forefront of things. You know, we want to care and pamper ourselves. Self-care is honestly seen as like this overindulgence of just making sure that you're feeling right and okay. And that's not biblical. But the biblical mindset is that, God has blessed us with these bodies. These are a creation of God. And so whenever we inhabit these bodies, we are to care for those bodies. And so to care for them may be to go for a run. It may be to eat healthy. It may be to get more sleep. Whatever it may be, those are self-care things, but it's also very God honoring in that sense. It's not just to, do what feels right and make yourself feel better. That's not the self-care we're talking about here. Self-care, when justified from a Christian perspective, when looking at the Bible, seeing self-care in a biblical way really stems from, there's a passage in 1 Corinthians where Paul writes that, do you not know that your body is a temple, that it's a place in which the Holy Spirit dwells? And so we are to care for our bodies. And also throughout the Gospels, it's within the Synoptic Gospels. It's the sharing of the greatest commandment. Jesus says that the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. And then secondly, and equally, is to love your neighbor as yourself. And those words there, love and yourself, they kind of bookend that is to understand that yes, we are to care for others, and we lay our lives down for our friends, and we do so many things to take care of others, but we are to take care of ourselves too. And so that's just a very straightforward passage that we can see that the Bible is really speaking towards caring for ourselves, that we are to care for our bodies. On and on throughout the scriptures, you are seen as special. Your body is a creation. Your body is a temple, and we are to care for that body. And so self-care is not selfish. It's not self-centered. It's actually a very God-honoring spiritual discipline that we are to continue with. We see Jesus himself doing something very similar in Mark. In Mark 1:35, it says that Jesus woke up really early in the morning, and while it was still dark, went up into a place of solitude and to pray and to be at one with his Father, to spend time with him, talking with him. And so repeatedly throughout the Gospels, you can see that over and over again, that Jesus sought this solitude. And so Jesus himself even exemplified this idea, this knowledge of caring for yourself. And so if you're wondering, what are some practical ways that I can care for myself that are both biblical and also, caring for myself physically and mentally and spiritually? And if you're wondering where that's at, you can check out our self-care wellness card. It's here in the reflection room. You can come and grab one and take it with you. It has 10 different wellness, 10 different ways to care for yourself. And so I'll list off a couple. So list the things that you like about yourself and thank God for making you. Number 2, simplify your schedule. Number 3, get a massage or go to a spa. And the list goes on. There are different ways that we can care for ourselves, care for these bodies that God has given us in a God honoring and God glorifying way. But the biggest thing is to know that you have value. God valued you so much, he gave his life for you. And so we ought to value ourselves as well, and to take that time to care for ourselves the way that God cares for us. I love you guys. Your lives matter. Would you practice self-care this week? I'm excited to hear from you how it is that you've implemented this practice throughout the week. Tune in next week as we continue our series of spiritual disciplines. We're going to talk about the topic, the discipline of Lectio Divina. So I'm excited to share that with you. And I'll see you again.